Hey everybody, how you doing? It's Riad Byne with Spartan Wellness, and again, we're doing some videos for Remembrance Week, leading up to Remembrance Day on November 11th. Really privileged and honored to have with me today Rude Awakening Tour, Mike Rude, veteran, PPCLI, does incredible work for the veteran community right across Canada and even into the States. Very honored to have you on, Mike. How's it going?
Uh, Going pretty good,
Yeah.
all good. I'm glad we're here. I'm glad we're making this happen.
You've been busy ripping around Canada and supporting, doing all the events. I noticed you got the flag behind you, the River Valley. Maybe just give a quick shout out for that.
Yeah, so I mean, the River Valley Resilience Retreat, they started, I don't know, a few years ago. Uh, I've been watching them grow. They came from like say 3/10 like Lawrence of Arabia in the middle of a field near the river to now having like this big property with I'm in the house right now, but then they have like 5 cabins kind of, and it's for military, first responders, corrections, police, and they really help out the community up here in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, and they're able to bring people in from Saskatchewan, from Alberta, and different areas, right? So the Saskatchewan Legion Command helps them out, sending so they'll get funding in order to bring a veteran, a first responder, corrections officer out here to relax. They have peer support staff. They do all kinds of things like that, and are very much involved in community like Spartan Wellness is, right?
Oh wow, that's really cool. It's great, and you get to travel around Canada. Well, I shouldn't say you do travel around Canada, and it's really to help out all these groups and find out where the help is, right? All the organizations out there that are not necessarily getting the advertisement like some of the other bigger ones, right? Transitioning from the military life can be a huge shift. Mike, what were some of the personal and professional challenges you faced along the way, and maybe you still face?
I think the biggest one for any of us when we transition and we're leaving the military and going into the civilian life, or into our retirement, into our time to try to heal or whatever, is that it's the people that we're connected with, that are the people that help us when we get out, right? So when we transition, you know if we're having a hard time, people might say, hey, have you tried canned praxis? Have you gone out and have you done the equine therapy? um, have you tried sending into Soldier On and getting some cross country ski equipment like Spartan Wellness, right? So then people at Spartan, then they already know what you need to do, things they know about, different healing modalities. They know about places you can go, things that can help you doing your VAC claims, doing all this. So then, you have, say, have you tried our creams, right? Have you tried
Yeah.
have you tried this stuff for sleep? Have you gone to this place for therapy? Have you tried this, right? You say with different organizations like Spartan, then those
Hmm.
people have a larger radar, right? So they have a big radar of all the things that are going on in the country or within that region, right? So if you're in touch with
Yeah.
people like that, then they can say, there's this going on or that going on, you know, involved with the community. Have you done this? Have you tried that? Right? So
Hmm.
that's where you get all your information. When you get released from the military, they don't say, hey, if you need help, go here. If you need this, go there, right? So if you don't know about it, and if you're not within a community that's actively trying to heal or actively engaging with the community and helping and bringing about change, or positive things like changing your diet, or the exercise, doing all those things, then right, you're missing a lot, right? Yeah.
You touched a bit on Spartan there, Mike, and I know we do a lot of things together, and but I think the audience would love to hear about your journey. How Spartan and you sort of how we all intersected, and how that collaboration's made a difference for you, but also for the people you're talking to and reaching out and having those conversations with.
Because I'm involved with the Mefloquine lawsuit and with a lot of the issues from quinism and dealing with that, knowing that, you guys were supporting Dave Bona, very much helping him get to the different events for Mefloquine. And actually then it was like a year and a half ago, I think just prior to us actually starting to do stuff together, or 2 years ago, when I went to the Mefloquine convention in Vermont, and Karam and Andrew had come along, and you guys helped me get to that event. I'm involved a lot with the community and doing things with different groups. That's where then I'm running into people from Spartan and seeing things that they're doing, right? So like just kind of what really blew me away, like when I met up with Cynthia at when we were doing the Battle Buddies Canine thing, I was out there.
Exactly.
And then what was kind of right was the connection that we actually had, right? I served with her brother, right? And it's just it's a closer community than we realize, right? That we're in so many ways we're already connected, and we don't kind of know it, right?
Mike, we always talk about the 5 keystones of wellness, and it's something sort of Spartan really focuses on. And those 5 key areas are self-care, community, integrative medicine, education, and empowerment. Which of these, if not all, has really stood out for you, obviously in your journey of recent and past, for you in your own post-military journey?
I think the biggest one out of those 5 really is community, right? Because none of us are going to get through it alone, right? None of us can do things solely on our own, right? Even when we were in the military, we were part of a team, right? And that team got the job done, right? You had the elements that supported the teams going in. You had, you have a whole army behind you, right? And then when you leave, it's just you, right? And it's you sitting in your basement. It's you that doesn't want to go out, right? And until you kind of re-engage with your community and get back in there, those are the people that are going to keep you alive, right? Those are the people that are watching and saying, Riad, man, hey, we haven't heard from you in a while. What's going on? You okay? What's right? And that's where the community really comes in, right? And then that's also to say, hey, man, I've seen you. You really seem to be struggling. Like, have you ever thought about going to Camp Praxis, right? Have you thought about taking a break and going out to River Valley Resilience Retreat? Have you thought about, do you need any help at the food bank, right? Do you need you need help doing your claims, right? There's so many things that the community can bring, right? That Spartan community can bring into you and help you, right? And and really it the community leads into your other ones, right? Like the community reminds you, hey, Riad, man, when's the last time you did any self-care, right? Have you gone for a massage? Have you gone for acupuncture? Have you done any of these things to try to look after yourself? Because I've noticed you're doing more than than usual, and you haven't been taking any breaks, right? So these are
Yeah.
kind of things that happen to me because people say, hey, self-care, Mike, self-care, right? That's where the community comes in, because otherwise we beat ourselves up and then something happens and we can't handle it, right? So before that happens, our community is engaging with us and saying, hey, take a break, man.
Stuff. Yeah, no, it's so true. And I believe in a lot of the community as well. And I think with community, empowerment, uh, integrative medicine, it's all part of the equation, right?
No, that all of it feeds into each other, right? The community can empower you, right? So the community can say, hey man, like, good job, you're really doing a lot, man. Is there anything we can help you with, right? That's it all links in together, right? There's no one answer to every
Yeah.
symptom that we have. It's many, and and through Spartan, you have a lot of those modalities, right? You have a lot of stuff. You have a lot of tools in your toolbox, right? So
Exactly. Yeah.
a
Yeah.
lot to pull out and help people, and that really, the the greater, type of people that you're helping, the more types, the more tools you're going to have in your toolbox to help all the different right problems with back pain, shoulder pain, PTSD, TBI, blah blah blah, right? So by you and I doing these different healing modalities, people are seeing the demonstration. People are seeing the example of what's working and what's not working, right?
Mhm.
It's a huge difference. Or even to look at how I am today as opposed to like 5 years ago when I started my journey, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And seeing the different things that worked and seeing the places that I'm at now, right? So
It's
where we
exciting.
are today. Yeah, yeah. Very
Yeah. It's
much, right?
exciting. I love that reference, actually. That's a great analogy, man. You're right. We're walking really demonstrations of
Yeah, yeah.
utilizing boxes to get better. 100%. You're doing a lot with the Mefloquine. Uh, you know, been supporting that right through game. That's just I'm I think I'm part of it as well. Haven't been
No,
exposed
very
to
much. Yeah, yeah.
when and stuff. Going when I was supposed to deploy to Zaire and stuff. Um, but yeah, maybe give an update on how that's going and sort of where it's progressing.
You know, so just kind of a short summary, I think, is what they're saying is that the government is trying to, with the lawsuit, the government's trying to say, so in January, I think they're trying to quash the lawsuit, trying to say Veterans Affairs is already looking after us for quinism, right? They're already looking
Uh,
after us for mefloquine poisoning, so there's no need to do that. But none of the claims say, you know, the problem is from quinism, the problem is from mefloquine poisoning. It's all different things. So I think that's kind of their last attempt at trying to quash it. And then when that's done, then it'll be okay. How do we go forward and how do we deal with this now? Right. So
okay.
uh, so
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
so with the Rude Awakening tour, I try to advertise as well and to let people know, hey, these people are there for you if you need this, right? Or these people are there for you. Spartan is there for you if you need, you know, going off of the five list, right? Going off of
Yeah.
the medicine and the community and the empowerment, right? It's
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
putting
100%.
things
Yeah.
together. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No,
So
thanks. Thanks for the kind words, Mike. I appreciate it, man. Listen, with Remembrance Day approaching, it's going to be hard for many, right? And like I've been saying in the other sort of conversations, I know as I get older, the armor chips away a bit, and I tend to get a lot more emotional now. I
yeah.
really reflect back. Um, Mike, what does it mean to you personally? And is there any reflections or advice you'd like to share with the brothers and sisters and everybody. And I'm one to include first responders in a remembrance sort of way, because they've served, they've been overseas, a lot of them. I remember RCMP, even on my UN tour in 94, 95 in Croatia, it was the RCMP that helped me in a sticky situation. So, I recognize them. But, again, what does it mean to you personally, Remembrance Day? And do you have any advice you want to pass on?
Well, Remembrance Day, the whole point, right, is to remember those that served, those that fell, those that that went to war for our country, that people that fought for our freedoms, things like that. But you know, that's a 1 day recognition. That's a 1 day thing to talk about it, right? But we need to live our daily lives thinking, always having that on our radar, right? But and this is kind of to tie in with the first responders and everything, right? Those people that serve others, right? That are in service to others, right? Your police, your fire, your paramedics, your corrections, your dispatchers, right? All of those people are in service to others, right? That are serving the community, that are serving, that are serving others. And we have to think of those people and remember them and think about what they might be going through when you go by that traffic accident, thinking those first responders that are, pray for them and think about them, about
Yeah.
what they could be going through right now for what they're seeing, right? Because there's so many things that all of us see that really, that really can affect us, right? And we have to recognize that and try to deal with those, right? But
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no,
so
that's really well said, Mike. Yeah, it's not a 1 day thing. It's an everyday thing, and remembering and reflecting. And yeah, I agree with you. Actually, that's really
yeah,
well said. And then especially for the first responders, they're in and out every day. They live that stuff. They go home to their
yeah,
wives and kids and have to put on the happy face. And
yeah, and
it's definitely service with selflessness is what we used to always say, right? You know, I had the privilege to be at paramedics veteran alumni retirement party not too long ago, and I was, some of these guys were, some of these paramedics were there for 35, 40 years, right? And then some weren't very long just because of the type of work that's involved. And
yeah, yeah.
I was blown away when they were telling me that there's only like 35,000 paramedics in Canada, right? And you think about it, like that's not a very lot of people to do what they do,
That's
right?
that's that's a minimal number of people carrying a heavy load, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Right,
And I
and
always look
then
back. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
when a person has to take time for themselves for self care, when they have to go off work for self care, then the weight on the others becomes more, right?
And
And
I
they
was
can't
just going to
feel
say
sorry.
that's what a couple of them were telling me. We're socializing, and that's what they were saying. They're like, we don't want to take time off because we know how hard it'll be for the rest of them because there's so little of us.
Yeah,
So they said, well, I won't take time off because I'll just be, screwing over my buddy or my fire team partner or my ambulance partner, right? And it makes sense. And but I will say this, and my dad recently, obviously passed
yeah.
recently, but
Sorry
when
for that.
I remember
Yeah,
when we were taking the paramedics came one time to take him to the hospital. It was just, he had a bit of a fall, and I was really thankful. And I remember I was at the hospital and I said, "Hey, listen, thanks. Can I buy coffee?" And the girl looked at me, the lady looked at me, she says, "No, this is my duty." She didn't say it's my job. She said, "No, no, it's my duty." And it
yeah,
made me take a step back because that's what we would say in the military. That's my duty, man.
yeah,
So it just made me really connect and feel connected to that one person at that time because I could tell she had the same mindset I had when I was in the military. I'm sure you have, and I still have sort of that
yeah,
mindset. It's my duty to serve and
yeah.
duty to protect and duty to give back. So it was, so I think we're very tied, veterans, first responders, we're all, yeah, we come from different uniforms and so forth, but we're very, very intertwined. Listen, just so you know, it's November 9th is a concert.
Yeah.
Tickets are for sale. You can check it out on Facebook, Sound of Remembrance. Check out Spartan because we're giving away 10 pairs of tickets. And there's probably going to be some more giveaways as well. I'm working on a few other things. So I think there's going to be about 20 altogether tickets or pairs of tickets that'll be going out. It's a draw. Just put your name in, sign up, check out Spartan Facebook page, Instagram, wherever. And, if you have any questions, I'm sure, Mike, you're okay if people reach out to you and if you can help get just for that stuff as well. Yeah, Rude Awakening Tour. It's all over Facebook as well and Instagram. Well, Mike, listen, again, pleasure talking to you. Thanks for coming on. Really looking forward to what you got going on the rest of this year and next year. I know next year is a little busy too, and we've talked a bit about it. So I'm pretty excited to see all that start to unfold. Yeah, no, thank you very much, Mike, for everything you're doing. Thanks for jumping on the call today as well.
Yep.
And
you're very welcome. Thanks for what you're doing, man. Keep it up. Keep going, man. Right?
Exactly.
All right. Take care. And and thank you for what you guys are doing for all your support from Spartan.
To all our veterans and first responders, thank you for your incredible service. We invite you to join our absolutely free webinar, Freedom to Live Well, created by our virtual care squad and delivered by Spartan Wellness Ambassadors. We're committed to supporting you on your wellness journey and believe that great things happen together. Book your wellness appointment today at spartanwellness.ca.